Brenda used to walk these streets with pride. Her husband Chris, a patriot by her side. But the weight of the world came crashing down when the government tried to take the ground. They stole Chris away, said he was a threat, left Brenda alone with words of regret. CPS came knocking, took her children too, but Brenda stood tall like the sky so blue. Bring back Brenda, let her light shine bright. She's been trampled on, but she's ready to fight. Don't tread on her, she's got a heart so true. Through the darkest nights, she'll pull through. Every day she fights for what's been lost, pays the price, bears the cost. Whispers of hope through a podcast wave, telling her story, she'll be brave. In the heartland, they know her name, her struggle, her passion, her undying flame. She dreams of a day she'll hold them tight, Chris and the kids in the morning light. Bring back Brenda, let her light shine bright. She's been trampled on, but she's ready to fight. Don't tread on her, she's got a heart so true. Through the darkest nights, she'll pull through.
Hey, what the heck? How's it going, guys? What's going on? Everybody ready to roll? I've been ready to roll. Hey, I say, please don't what? Wait, I got this. I'm doing it on my phone tonight, guys. I think it's a lot better, for me. Look at, I like it when they show the little me. This is the little me, and this is the big me. Um, Oh yeah. Okay. So you're gonna be heading to bed soon. I decided I had some stuff going on today. Like I said, I did a little video earlier. I was out and about getting some things done, and makes me think of that. I never did pay that gas bill. Hopefully now it's the weekend. They're gonna try to charge me the extra because the due date comes on the weekend. Then what do you do? Yeah, so it's been a struggle to try to. Oh, hey, Brandy, is there any way you won't want to come in, Brandy? I could send Sharon, we could get Brandy to come in here with me if she's gonna be up late. It's up to you. Um Let me know if you want the link. We could send it to you. Sometimes it's easier me. I do uh, the link through Messenger. That's why I can put it up on my laptop, which I have connected to the big screen, or if I do it on my phone, like I can't mess around with my phone right now while I'm using it. But I was kind of concerned because I didn't hear from Chris today. I had some things going on, taking care of my son. If you think I need to take care of him because he might have contracted freaking TB from somebody that was up there. He's trying to. I guess he took a test, so hopefully everything comes out okay with that. I mean, they have somebody sitting over there in the hospital, by the way, Brandy, that has TB. So, geez, Louise, let's be careful, guys. You never know what's going to go on. Hey, Debbie, hey. Um, hey, I don't know what happened with Danielle. Maybe she's resting or working. Who knows? She said she had some trouble getting into the show earlier. I seen her at the beginning of the show. But I've just been sitting back trying to watch a little comedy, and trying to relax. I'm trying to think. Brandy, we gotta get together tomorrow. If you want to, I will be available tomorrow, and then hopefully you know those library hours because we can go up there, print out whatever you want. By the way, Darren, whatever the link is you guys got going on for that thing that Gunner's doing, I don't know. I guess I could just direct you to that, but like I said, we're trying to put a group of our own together, guys, and we're very capable of putting these, affidavits together. We know where they need to go. I mean, I'm tired of waiting around for all this stuff. But if Gunner has a case where we can attach our stuff and say, hey, he's not the only one. Look at what's happening in this case. Look what's happening in this case. And it's almost like, oh my gosh, isn't a lot of these cases so much similar? Um, like, was I talking to a wet plant's husband? I mean, there's some similarities. How your husband was treated, and we're talking about like the parents, how they're been being treated. Not only it's bad on the kids, but I mean they're treating us like we're criminals when a lot of us aren't criminals. And even if you are, if you have broke the law or you have been on some type of substance abuse or something like that, I mean, you can offer the tools to help with that. Not take the kids away from the biological family and end up putting them in places where there are consistent, drug problems and people breaking the law. I mean, the stuff I found out when I tried to, get my daughter out of that abusive situation down there in Charlotte County. I mean, you guys wouldn't have believed what I saw there. It was like, whoa, it's worse than I ever would have believed. But I mean, that's what I don't understand is like there's got to be some accountability. If you have children that are in some type of foster placement that are running away from these placements because they feel threatened or abused or something like that, and a lot of them don't know where to turn, and that's why it's sad to say is the society is creating this turns into prostitution and drugs, and they turn to these things because they don't have that parent bond anymore, and they're just going to like a survival mode. And I mean, look at just the mess things are going on. I mean, on the streets, they got the FBI out there with ICE and everything else. And to me, I don't know. It just seems like um, are they actually going and getting rid of the bad people, or somehow maybe some of the good people are mixed in there? I mean, it's hard to say. Um, but hopefully they clean up that mess. What are you guys thinking about? What plans is meeting with the lawyer pertaining to what? Oh, really? Okay. All right, good. Wow. And I've got and Brandy, I just want to say thank you for that information of where to get help with that Social Security stuff because that was a good find. And they were very thorough. And actually, I got a call back from Social Security today from the local office, and they're like, Miss Cameron, you already do have a claim, but I'm like letting them know that, these guys are going to take over because it seems like they mean business on getting all the information that I need to get them. Of course, I wouldn't qualify for Social Security because I probably didn't enough hours worked in my life, but at least I can get some SSI assistance or something because it's been really difficult to find a job since they've created this narrative about me and made me a felon for one, a little bit of weed, and then for trying to get my daughter out of abusive placement. See, it was like interfering with custody and then crossing state lines. So that was something. It was wonderful to be able to spend those days with my daughter after so many years of not being able to spend any time with my daughter. I mean, and the time we did spend after they were taken was in these visits that were monitored and recorded, and besides, always somebody from the department overseeing these visits. And it's just like it makes you feel kind of weird that you want to have a good time with your kids, but you have somebody taking notes about like how your visit is going, and they want to study you like you're some lab animal. It just doesn't make sense to me, guys. So yeah, I tried to send everybody out love invites right before I know that I'm coming on, because I wanted to. I usually come on at 9, um, but I wasn't able to. So I'm here now, and I was here for a little bit of the show earlier. Right before this one. So I went back in and I'm saying, "Hey, what's going on, everybody?" And I'm glad to see you guys are spending your Friday night with me. And see, that's I sent also a link to see how it says "Give Us Our Babies Back." That's another YouTube channel I have, and a lot of times I like to share some of those videos that I have. And if anybody's ever interested in looking at some of this court media that I have, be it the kids case, our criminal case. But what we're finding in a lot of these cases, and I can't even tell you where I saw this, but apparently people that are going after their records and these FOIA requests, if anybody doesn't know what a FOIA request is, it's for the Freedom of Information Act, where you are able to request your record that they have on file. Well, I don't know if they call it the same when it's like when I was inquiring to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, right? Well, come to find out, like these people that are trying to get their records, they somehow feel as this is a threat towards them. And then they start, targeting these individuals. Oh, well, let's arrest them for this and let's arrest them from that. We're not done arresting you, even though we've got your children. Now you've got my husband, and there's no end to the living torture that we go through day by day, not knowing what's going on with my family. And now I don't know what's going on with Chris as well as my two kids. So, what else we got going on, guys? Let me see these if I can get caught up with these comments. For some reason, let me see if I can lower this. It's weird. Is this my mouse acting weird now? Can't see the top comments. Give me another comment then. Oh, Brandy, you do already get disability. Could I ask you how long it took you to get on it? Because to get back to that, I gave that information to Danielle so she can share it with her brother, because apparently they had some attorney that was supposed to be helping him get on Social Security, and then months and months, and then years go by, and it kind of falls to the wayside, and you find out people haven't been doing nothing. So that's why I was encouraged when you gave me the name of that place, and I don't even remember what it was called. I know it starts with like T, but I mean they help people nationwide, and if they can get in there and very compassionately ask you the questions, what your disability is, and throughout the years is like when the stuff happened. Because you guys, if you're suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, and these issues of depression and all this other stuff, trauma induced by the breaking up of your family, you can get Social Security for that. And I never really realized it, but I mean, it's too bad that we have to, spend our days, struggling to get by day because everything has been taken away from us. I mean, at least I'm glad I own my home free and clear because I have that, but it's going to be hard to keep up with those bills if you don't have a job to do it. I'm hoping you guys are keeping my fingers crossed and praying in regards to that job at Tractor Supply because that would be awesome. And kind of just like sometimes I feel when sometimes you just got to walk into these places, let them know boom, I need a job and I'm ready to work every day of the week. Just bring it on, Um, 'cause I gotta get caught up on a lot of the stuff. And I hope and pray that my husband just come back home. I was able to talk to his attorney today. So we're hopeful that when we get this response back, which I think in regards to it's a response of the state to the initial brief that Chris's attorneys put in. And so, I mean, there's so many violations of the law with Chris's case and with these constitutional violations and jurisdictional issues, as well as issues with the jury instructions. I mean, geez, I wish I'd one day. I don't think I ever printed it out, but when I can bring up Chris's brief and I'll read it to you guys, what all the arguments are and stuff like that. But like I say, it's kind of weird that anytime that we've been arrested after, the kid's case was done and over, every time they're throwing it up in our face, hey, um, and throwing it up to the court and want to let the prosecutor, want to let the jury know. You want to let everybody know that we had a dependency case back in 2016 where we lost the rights to our children. So just that in itself, um, could lead people to believe that you're not a good parent. But they don't tell the whole story. And then if you try to discuss that um, in the courts or whatever, it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, you're going. I'm not going off subject. They brought it up. The other side brought it up. So let's elaborate on that. Let's elaborate how the kids were showing bruises and scratches and burns, and the Department of Children and Families wasn't doing anything about it because all that would be on the video of these visits. You videoed them all, now all of a sudden all these videos seem to have disappeared off the face of the earth. I mean, I've been trying to get them ever since my case was active, and I still wasn't able to get those visitation tapes. Okay, so let me see if I can get caught up, guys. Um, hey, hey, hey. Okay, I'll come chat up until okay. Now, am I going backwards with the things? Oh, I think I am going backwards. For some reason, I'm going backwards. Goddess of Love. It takes about 2 years, the game plan to have after your first denial. Just quit because, as we know, it was a money racket. Um, oh, it's a trajectory. It's trajectory disability. Brandy Smith put it right there, guys. You guys, I've been lost over Meta World for over an hour. Let me in. Oh gosh, so that's fun. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I get caught up with that too. The Meta, right? They started doing that on the Facebook, which was new to me when they started doing that on Facebook. You guys, and it just seems like no matter what we're doing, minding our own business, trying to do a few things on the internet, or maybe put up a post on YouTube or TikTok, and it's like we're put under a microscope. I mean, um, why don't they concern themselves with those videos that I'm putting up about the children being harmed, the children being kidnapped, the courts that are violating our rights in these state courts in the lower courts, and they think this they can just um, not put attention on the reality of what they're doing and turn it around to us and say, "Oh, look at these bad guys. Look at these bad guys." When, we were always the good guys, okay? And I just don't, I just don't know. Um, like I said, it can't go on much longer, guys, because I think my head will explode, if I can't get through this any faster. Most definitely, the whole entire world has been disabled. Yeah, they're being disabled by the breaking up of the family, and I Sharon, I don't know if you're in the background, but can you look up this? Who is the congressman or whatever that said that this is Nuclear Family Month? I mean, what a joke is that? They have done nothing to secure the bond of the nuclear family. Nothing. Our leaders have done nothing to support that. Especially, I don't see anybody calling me. I mean, pretty much, probably one of the top parents in the country. I was able to home my school, three of my children that are MDs graduated top of their class. So, who are you to come in and tell me that I can't take care of my youngest two children? Because I did a pretty damn good job, and I don't imagine that my Sage and Christopher, I don't imagine that they're doctors or much of anything, because I read that letter to y'all the other day where little Chris was writing to his brother saying he wanted to be a doctor like him. Now, how sad is that? I mean, are they going to provide the things needed to put this young man through college? Because I have a college within a block away from me, LSUE, and they could. It just makes me sad to see these, young, pre-20s people over here, having, just having a great time playing these sports and everything else. I mean, you can hear the sports going on, and my Sage is now 21 and Chris is 19, and it's just like I can't believe that we missed like practically a decade of their life because of this madness. I mean, I just don't get it. How did they expect us to survive this, guys? I don't even know. I think it's thank God in heaven that he's gotten us through it this far. Let me see. Can someone let me in, please? Oh, do you want to come on, Goddess of Love? We are. Um, Let me see what you're saying. We are come together in these try times. We are one family, one love. We have to get through inflation to start over recession. Resetting, but trying times brings let me see. Yes, the jurisdiction is backwards because you are literally a pirate in the marathon court because you're a body of water, which is a landmass from. They're going to come home sooner or later. It's just a matter of reset. Um, they let Harry Hoover out, and that was a sign. Um, Darren, who's in the background? I gotta let this lady in. Are you familiar with Allie Carter? Am I right? They are doing fraudulent acts. I'm a witness to all judges, lawyers, most of them are leaving profession is done. Okay, if I can connect with you on Messenger, Goddess of Love, I'll do that right now. I'll do it on my laptop, and that way, I'll send you the link. Okay. Hopefully you are on my Facebook, or you know what I could do? I could put my number in here. Um, Let me try to do this. Darren, you're not in the back room? Son of a bitch. I want to be able to bring her in. All right. I'll still be doing this, but guys, I'm going to go into my Facebook up here. Oh, there you are. Is there any way we can set the link to Goddess of Love?
The link to Goddess of Love. Yeah. Where do we have an email address or anything for her?
No,
Or do you
that's
want me
what
to
I was
just put it up?
wondering.
Do you want me to just put it
Um,
up there?
yeah, just go ahead and put it out there. Yeah,
Okay.
because that way, if Brandy want to come in, she could come in.
All right. Free link night.
Bringing it back.
Boom. Here it is, everybody.
All right, I'm going to I'll put this back up on the screen again so I can see what you guys commented because I surely can't see it on my little phone. But I
You
think
got a little phone.
I like the idea of doing the live on the phone because it just seems to
Because that's the only option you have.
I'm sorry. What?
Hey, do you seem to get more viewers, huh? When you use the other way, is that like to flip the screen?
I think so. I think when we use the skinny way, we get more views because I think then you can put it goes up on TikTok or whatever.
Oh, that's cool.
I don't know because then it's almost like people can go through and see it in the reels or the shorts or whatever you want to call it, whatever
Right.
you happen to be in. All right. So in any case, that's what I was wondering if I might be mistaken, but I thought the goddess of love is in somehow relations to Allie Carter. Am I wrong? Um, maybe
Uh,
she can come on and let us know.
yeah,
Well,
she's
in
coming
any
in,
case,
right?
we're doing a late night Friday night. And like I say,
Brenda, if
and
we just hand you a
sometimes,
T-shirt, what would you want it to be? How would you want it to be?
for me,
Yeah, for Bring Back Brenda, what would you want it to be like?
um, you know, I'm gonna send you this. I mean, Jenny has this idea of street justice, but I'm kind of leery of the street justice because I don't want to be like, you know what I mean? That could have like a tough name. But I mean, it's some type of justice, but I did come up with a AI, like emblem for the street justice where it showed a lady, kind of like a mushroom cloud, like nuclear explosion in the background, and she's holding on to the, justice,
Hmm.
scale, and it came out pretty good, but,
I've been working on this one here. Let me show you here. Let me show you this real quick.
yeah, show me because I do like the idea of putting the kid's face out there. Like, hey, man, these are my
Um,
kids. Does anybody have any idea? Um, these kids are missing my. God knows they're adults now. So, I mean, I know if I seen my kids as adults, I would recognize them. I know I would. But not everybody else would. I'm saying that you guys just look out for a male version of me because this my boy looks so much like me. It's scary. It's like wow, and he's probably got the same kind of hair because all my boys have my hair. Yep, they're blessed with mom's hair. Good lord. And it took me years to figure out how to take care of this curly hair because everybody else in my family didn't have curly hair. And that's what got us. I have to go into the uh what do you want to say? African American products at the Walmart because that's um that gets me back to that. It gets me back to the attorney in California. She wanted to say that she she said I'm not even gonna get into it, but she says Brenda, she says you might be black yourself. You might and I'm like she says oh no she said it like this Brenda you might have black in you. I'm like come on come on black in me okay all right hello.
all right.
But there are people that are like white, but since they have like some kind
Little
of
hint of black.
African American in their ancestry,
Yeah.
identify as black. I mean, whatever floats your boat, man. As long as we're, going on this ride together, I don't even care. What we're all part of the human race. Okay, we're human beings. Okay, period. Um, and I love everybody. I usually, and I couldn't see it didn't bother me too much when I was in prison because I really get along with anybody and everybody. I've had close quarters with murderers, but hey, I'm a nice person, man. There's just like you get scared because they make you watch that video when you first go in. Beware if somebody puts a honey bun on your bed.
Whoa, honey bun on the bed. The old honey bun on the bed trick.
I come back from the restroom and I see like a, a noodle and some kind of treat on my bed. I'm like, oh, what's this? And the lady that freaking, oh my God, her story is beyond me. But I mean, she really generally was just doing it to be nice. Okay, so I didn't feel that I owed her anything for the favor. Like,
It's the old
but
honey bun on the bed.
it ends up like so this lady had an obsession with cleaning the bathroom, and finally talking to this other girl, and I'm like, what is the going on with this good lady? She's always cleaning the bathroom. She's like, no, no, nobody. That's okay. You don't have to do it. I got this. I got this. And she just cleaned that bathroom up and down, spotless. And then somebody said she murdered somebody, and it was in the bathroom. So that's what she was in there for. Hello. Oh, yay.
Have you ever seen the ribbon I designed for this movement?
I'm sorry?
Have you ever seen the ribbon I designed?
I thought I seen the ribbon, but I thought you were going to show us something else. What do you?
I am well. I'm looking for it, but I didn't know if you ever saw the
Yeah,
ribbon.
I did. I mean, you
You
could show
did?
me if you want. I mean, that would be a good idea to have the ribbon like on the sleeve of the
Yeah, that's what
t-shirt.
I've been doing. I've been putting it on. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it. I'm going to look at it on my big screen though, so I can see it better. My phone is faster than my laptop. There's a delay there. So if you guys always see I'm looking away, I'm not really looking away. I'm looking at
Look
what's going on.
away, baby, look away. Don't look at me. I don't
Yeah.
want you to
Damn, there's
see
quite
me
a
this
bit of a delay. Okay, now I see it. Now I see it.
Would you call me up this morning? Don't let me lay you down. I hear
Okay,
something.
Brandy's saying the library opens at 8 tomorrow. Okay, hey, I'm gonna get with you. Cause Darren, we're getting together. Like I tell you, I even
Mhm.
made a video about it. Anything I can do to help this woman, she's fighting the fight, and God has brought us together for a reason. Like I said, she's helped me
Amen.
out with the information on Social Security. I'm going to help her out on the information of what we can do to arrest these judges or whatever our goal
Yeah,
is to
yeah.
get our kids
Do it.
back in our care with
Yeah.
nobody interference. I mean, we don't want. Gosh, talking to lady in Georgia, and I mean, she figured out she was picking up her paperwork, and it was like, oh my gosh, according to this paperwork that it's taken 2 years to get, she has every right to have her son with her, and she didn't even ever seen this paperwork before. It's like, are you kidding me right now? Oh yeah. Okay, so let me read on what's going on. Let me see. They are fraudulent acts, and I am a witness to all judges, lawyers. Most of them are leaving their profession, and it is now a shortage on attorneys. You're telling me. You should have seen the struggle I had, Darren, trying to get a lawyer in Florida
Oh
to
hell
help
yeah,
my
yeah,
husband. It was like literally impossible. And so I
yeah.
hired a lawyer in Alabama, and then they had to get a sponsoring attorney. And the sponsoring attorney that was out of Florida was a piece of crap that freaking threw my husband's case. It was unbelievable. Wow. I still can't get over that. So then again, that's another part of Chris's brief is you got ineffective service to counsel. Um, and he was indeed helping with that problem with the jury instructions. I mean, the attorneys say there's so much messed up about those jury instructions. They never seen somebody messed up so bad on these jury instructions. It's like, oh my god. And if still, it didn't matter either way. I mean, what do we expect if it's still in the Third Circuit? where the same circuit that took my kids, the same circuit that took my car, took my house, took my life. I mean, God
Mm-hmm.
gracious, like what? When are they going to have enough of us?
Mm-hmm.
Good Lord, I
Speaking
would just want to know where my kids are, and we can just like move on from there. They don't understand. There wouldn't be so much conflict, with people if you would just, you know, like you say, maybe just let us know or hear their voice or something to know they are alive at least. God. Laws are being passed. You just have to know what to look for. On the 15th of last month, there was something put in place for any bully, which is whoever controls your will, if it's not you. I got you. Okay, so that is, if you guys want to click on that studio restream, you can come on here with us. You can turn your camera off if you don't want to put your face on the screen. That's fine too. Um, and if you want your voice to be heard, or I would say call my phone, but right now I got the live on my phone, so don't do that. Okay. So should be deported, but he calls it ICE. You've got to read the code. Many came before, many came after purpose, and it is divine timing. I understand the code when they, okay, I don't know. I'm sorry, that's a lot to ingest. I'm really appreciative of you guys sharing in the chat, sharing in the chat. That's a tongue twister for you. Do you guys ever see that show, Righteous Gemstones? That's funny. That's really funny, by the way. We've been going like I've watched all like they had 4 seasons. I watched them all. I think the 4 seasons is even funny. It's got John Goodman in it and some funny people. But we've been like get it on what do I got on Foot Locker? Yeah, I'm able to stream some movies on Foot Locker, but every time my son comes over, we just watch a couple more episodes because I'm telling him he needs to get caught up with these shows. In fact, Darren, I don't know if you watched Lord of the Rings, the most recent Lord of the Rings that came out. That was, that's kind of an inspiring story with the Lord of the Rings. I mean,
right.
and you got the Gandalf, and you got the Hobbits. This was like before Bilbo Baggins. They did this last show. Um, but it shows the loving ness of these what do they call them? The dwarfs. And can't remember. There's another name for those people that were in that village, but it's almost like they were little fairies or something. But it's just like they all stuck together and they all worked together as their little village. And even after like their whole town was burned up and everything, they helped, plant and just start all over again. Because that's what it takes with this child protective services. I mean, it's going to take a freaking, not only a village, it's going to take the whole country to come together on this. I mean, plus the other countries that the same stuff is
Yeah, have a nice one.
happening all over, guys. And I do think it has a lot to do with my kids are taken in Florida and these
That'll get
places
covered.
like the
That'll
bordering
get
states.
covered.
I think Maine's another one of them. California, you got Texas.
That'll get
Um,
covered.
Oh my God,
you know,
yes. Oh shit.
what's going on over there, Darren? You still didn't find. Darren, I'm gonna kick your butt if you don't send me that stuff you're talking about with Chris the other day.
Oh yeah, shit. Okay, yes, I will get that done to you. And you hold on a second.
I'll
Uh,
remind you again,
So funny.
because that's what I'm here for. Because I'm in the same boat. I can't even freaking multitask, Darren. I don't know how you do it. Um, But damn, my son wanted me to turn that freaking air conditioning down because he's back there. I mean, I'm not used to having it this cold in here. It's like he got it freezing.
Yeah, you're keeping all
So
the bacteria down.
he's got to get up at like 6 in the morning. So um, but it's nice like to have him come by because that's where he doesn't have to go all the way back to Lafayette when he got to be at work at 6 in the morning. That's a long drive. It's an hour drive. So, especially, he's gonna have to be quarantined if he comes down with his TB. This is just be madness. The healthiest guy you might want to ever meet, always exercising and eating right. Swear to God. And can you imagine he gets every sickness in the book? And the thing is that when you're a doctor, they're making you get these COVID shots, right? He had COVID, I think, 4 different times, and he had to get every shot there was. So what
Yeah.
does that tell you? Jeez Louise. Um, so there's a lot of things going on. What do you think, Darren? Is it going to be World War III over here happening or what? I mean, I wouldn't doubt it at this point.
I don't think anybody out there has the cajones to make it a World War III. I think everybody's in anticipation of a revolutionary war here on our own soil. Then you know what I mean.
Right?
I think that's where the whole world's really more or less watching. I mean, they're watching us stand up. We're all slowly getting together. We're standing up, and we've had enough.
And do you think
You
that
know.
maybe there's a problem with Chris is he wanted to make the second revolution movie and people didn't like the idea of a movie talking about second revolution unless I mean how many people have done a movie similar to the second revolution? There was one recently, but it was a big disappointment. I thought it was going to be better than that. I mean, so in actuality, Chris's films that he's put out throughout the years were just bits and pieces of an idea that he had to do like a movie like Network, where the people the what do you call it? I don't know. I don't like the word citizens. I like um, the locals, whatever you want to say, they got sick and tired of it, and they're just like all of a sudden, hey, we're not going to take it anymore. And they're throwing their TV out the window. They're so sick of the media telling lies and everything else. I mean, that's an old movie. What is that movie from the 50s or something? That's an old one. But I mean, that was kind of the idea Chris was using when he was putting together his film. I mean, then you could take all these different things where he would talk about how people get sick and tired of going through the airport, and it's like God forbid, you got to be a strip search when you're going through the airport trying to take a little family vacation. God forbid. They just too much getting into your privacy, guys. And what Chris is always say is like, I don't know how many times they've looked up our butthole, but I mean, for Criminy, they've never found nothing. So why don't you just leave us alone? What is the obsession with looking up our crevices? It's getting a little bit, disgusting, and I just don't understand. If you hear like these stories about children in cages and everything else, do you think somebody might want to wake up and smack them a bit or something? I mean, come on. Um, but if it was back in let's take for instance like Braveheart, right? What do you think they
Yeah.
would have done during in a Braveheart scenario when they found out somebody was a pedophile or harmed a child? I mean, they're gonna get the guillotine or what have you. There's no messing
Even the
around.
guillotine, because Biden bought a bunch of them, right? Isn't that what they say? Biden bought a bunch of guillotines or something.
Yeah, I did hear that. That's kind of crazy. I mean, what was the plan there?
I
Yeah,
think they were for Gitmo.
gee. Well, there you go. Brandy says, she argued with the CPS judge for a year about, and then followed their case plan to the T and got custody back 1 month shy of 2 years. You see that? She's been going through it for 2 years,
Man.
but did get her children back, okay? it's just nice that she had a sister there to help her through these hard times too. Because sometimes there's certain family members you can count on, through thick and thin, and then there's others that will pretty much go against you or abandon you. I mean, we've all got situations that are similar to that effect. Yeah. And I just sometimes I just don't know. Like when I grew up, I had probably the most normal, you know, nuclear family you could imagine. Mom stayed at home, dad goes to work, right? Just so basic. Like, um, I just couldn't understand, what happened to my dad. That like when my mom passes away, she like I'm not even allowed to go to the funeral. I mean, that was just devastating to me. And it's kind of scary because, like, my mom was 65 when she passed away. She got Alzheimer's at a pretty young age, and just the deterioration that happened so quickly. I mean, the healthiest person you would ever want to meet throughout my whole life, all of a sudden, boom. But that's the thing. I was living in Maine then, and all of my family seems to stay in Ohio for the most part. Like all the relatives, blah blah blah. My sister stayed up there. My brother took off and he's went to Colorado or either Colorado or what is it, the other one over there? Uh can't remember. Anyways, another guy that was a big disappointment in my life. I mean, these people just don't, want to distance themselves. It's kind of sad, You sit there, you have a big family, and then you're sitting there alone. But that's what's good that
All
we
right,
have each other, guys.
there's Inez. Our friend
Mhm.
Inez is in here. Here she is.
Yes, I would like to chime in on that.
There's
Um,
Oh.
Inez.
um, yes, we come from the good old days, and
Mm-hmm.
where the grandparents, as I know it, used to have 12 and 13 children.
Mm-hmm.
All because we knew together, we stood strong, and not only that, we worked together, and the work wasn't harder. It was fun. Um,
Because you were with your
there,
family. You guys, everybody was just together.
yes, yes. I mean, we're saying we're seeing what's happening, but we're not wanting to admit what's happening. And it is what I understand to be a construct that pretty much is being interrupted as we speak, because when your will to survive is put in jeopardy, and I mean, me myself, you cannot penalize me for stealing if you take the food out of my mouth, because all is fair in war. And when people wake up and realize that we are officially, it's always been war. The only difference between 1944 up until now is just that it was a spiritual warfare. I mean, we didn't know, but we knew. And now we're the knowing, and it's going to take us all. It doesn't, it has nothing to do with skin color at all. It has nothing to do with hate. It has all to do with a stolen birthright. And this has not all to do with only the only way that you can tell us apart, and this is written in the scriptures, is how a person actions may be, whether it's good or bad. So when you have one person that has many homes, but then you have tent cities, that's an abomination. And that has to stop. And believe it or not, I'm the walking testimony to what I am seeing being done. Like I even hear myself maturing every day, not having to enroll in any universities to be in debt, because money, remember, is the root to all evil.
Mhm.
Okay. And then not only that, nobody accepts it outside of the United States. We're the most wondrous country or vessel or ship, but we're bankrupt. These are things that if you ask yourself, yourself will answer. And that's the guidance and the knowing in you. You cannot tame a dragon. You cannot trust a snake not to bite you. It's going to always be that. So right now, we're in the reset. Apparently it's been happening. I have to tell it how it is and what I know, because you know, and we all come from the same source. The purpose is evolution. I know you heard, if not, this is the inquiring minds wants to know age, Aquarian age. And uh, um, you have what I tell my children, or um, just basic relations, just a basic communication, just basic communication, is that you have to use your own thought process. You have to, we have gotten used to no, stop, until we don't even, we do things senselessly. And then you wonder why there is senseless killings, because the devil is nothing but, it could be a cold. If it's bad, it's a spirit. Everything lives forever. Even the dead skin or dead hair, that or it's called DNA. Anything that sheds off of you, because everything sheds. That's it. It still lives, but it's a lesser you, and it has a purpose. We're the only living walking dead. Um, that's why we're in this period right here. Um, that is pretty much destroying ourselves without even knowing that we're destroying ourselves. And yet, if people realize that you don't need doctors, everything is in the script. It's in you. That's why it says go. The scripture says go within God's holy temples. It's simple. Trump, when I say Trump and Elon are, they are they are so hilarious to me, and I know that they are my it's not blood, because blood ain't thicker than water. It doesn't make sense. It never made sense. Blood ain't thicker than water, and your family is the one that does you the worst, the ones close to you.
Right,
Because
right.
our blood is not our is our body is made up of water, not blood. Technically, that's why it's blue in the veins. I just that was common sense. It's that simple. When it hits the air, that's why our skin is bronze and so on and so forth. We used to be different colors. So now with the planet aligning and everything, from the Jack and the Beanstalk tree being cut down, because you got to understand evolution. You know, if we're eternals and we live forever, oh, we're going to play a game. To each his own. Let's give free will, because you can't have one without the other. So you have, right now, the present is not supposed to be here, and that's the gift. You are it's only supposed to be, and always was, the future and the past. So what I do, or we do know, is that when we would do something, as children, that wasn't right. Our parents or some elder would say, "You're gonna have a child, and they're gonna do that, and it's gonna be 10 times worse."
Mm-hmm.
Or if they tell you back in the 90s, "Oh, you're gonna be talking to your mother on the phone like video call," and you're like, "Hmm?" But they got Jetsons and Flintstones playing back to back.
Yeah.
But Flintstones is in color and Jetsons is in
Right.
gray. Yeah.
Mhm.
Go back and watch all that. We got this whole thing wrong. But it would
Mhm.
the reason why it's wrong is because you have to die to live, you have to live to die.
Mhm.
We're eternals, we're not supposed to fear, but somebody told us that we supposed to. But and I used to think that um well, we don't come with a handbook on how to raise. Yes, we do. We raise them up in the way that they should go. That's the birds do. They throw them right out the nest. You know, that's why it's no more family reunions and none of that. And I sat and I watched it deteriorate. And that was in June, the summer months, that was the worst times for me. And now it's really nobody. The strongest of the one or the ones that really don't matter is the ones that still together. But best believe the ones that was of something or some sort, you were being tracked and are being tracked and monitored to stay docile in a docile state. And when you realize that you're everything, these last 2 years has been something. I
Mhm.
I became a biochemist along with being 302. I died for 3 days. My son was snatched from me then. My house was well before that it was um there was an explosion on my block before um I moved. Now thinking back, reliving or time traveling is what I would call it. Um I'm seeing that this was something that was designed to harm my family and I. And I know you guys hear about a lot of explosions and so on and so forth. This
Mhm.
is when you realize that when the government, the court system, I am fight. They took my son, and I
Yeah,
had
just the
to
other
let it
day.
happen.
Mhm.
Okay, they took. They already had my girls for a year, but see, I they got me. My throat chakra was locked. I act childish or sometimes I may stutter. I have many faces because I'm a Libra and I'm the only one that's a 13. Like the 12 disciples
Mhm.
and Jesus, the Libra has to balance all of that, all the zodiacs. So I'm they want to say I'm bipolar, I'm happy and I'm sad. Yes, you have to align yourself. You have to be able to like they say this portal, this open, which is every time I talk about this portal, I think about my son Zion and his do baby shark. It's all
Baby
like the
shark.
Matrix said, it's all over the place. Everything is the wall has a purpose, this phone has a purpose, but we just walk and we just don't know. And we just don't, and we are the five kingdoms of life. I have turned into everything all at one time, studying war, because the war. I mean the World War III. So
Mhm.
and mind you, I'm fighting for my girls. I'm there. I didn't even have time to even prepare. Or, I was representing myself because I when I seen that the system was incorrupt. I mean unjust, and they were operating in corruption. That destroyed my whole world, but it gave me something to live for, because that's all I ever done. Your life purpose, you're already willed in it because you chose to be here. Many are called, few are chosen.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. A lot of people go, they don't know, or they're reprogrammed, because that's what happened. Um, once the last reset, and typically during the quantum leap or whatnot, because I mean, you have to know, if you Google uh um well, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Game of Thrones.
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Okay, that is my show. Now, what what I thought was funny was the last episode, right? Starbucks, there was a coffee cup on the table. I don't know if you remember that was a sign. And that to me meant we in real time with this, because the Starbucks in medieval time left on a set. So right now, literally as we speak, there's no more book of Babel or Bible. The tree, the tower, Jack and the Beanstalk, the signal, the antenna, um, is it there is right now the signal is back, because the moon and the red and the cold pill. I mean, the red and the blue pill is what they, or the red, blue and red politics. It's nothing but merely how we are created. Stardust, which is a meteorite. Everything has a tail. Look, watch the meteors. 'Cause, that's the phoenix rising. The
What
Venus,
about the full moon for June? Is that
the
significant?
strawberry. I'm not trying to be nasty, but
Mhm.
it, be fruitful and multiply. This is what came to me. You go with your first intuition.
Mhm.
Strawberry. It's easy to get any information you want. So if you don't know, it's common sense, like Trump said. If they say it's a peach and it's supposed to be an orange, it's the opposite. You just flip it back, because that's all this has happened, because we're in a dual state. But now we are one. Is we we we're the Transformers come uniting again, or the Power Rangers.
Roll out,
But
transfers roll out, right? In fact, I was
huh?
going through some of my husband's videos, and yeah, that's right. And I believe, like you speak of the Game of Thrones, and I was talking about the Lord of the Rings earlier. I think a lot of times, you can take these things like I swear to God, that's why I always I reference the Truman Show movie, because it's
We're
oh
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and people think we go up. No, we're trapped in the prism. It's the way that they're showing that pressure, the portal. It's the only way that we're going to get out of here without being coming through the strawberry moon, which is the purpose for the periods, the cycles, and that's we have to know that Eve and Adam, that's they didn't do anything wrong. They had intercourse. They and Eve, Papa was not the Rolling Stone, it was the women. That's why we all look different. And I always used to question, why is it just blacks and whites? Why we the only ones but all these other, it's not even that's because we're the alpha, we're the beginning and the end. It's the snake eating the tail. And because we are all creators. Our job is to create. We've been doing this, and to give um um to tame, to bring. Okay, how can I put it? We create, but the wall is up, because you don't know what's going to come out of the creation. Okay,
Um,
and that. Go ahead.
I was just wondering. Do you mind sharing like where you live in when your kids were taken?
I live in Pottstown. X marks the spot, and I'm still doing. I think this is the Lovecraft, but if you country where they was playing God, and they were the wait, we are the original gods. Okay, if you want to, and it's not God, it's Guide. The God they only said that because it's the guidance within you. It's the knowledge, the data, the currency, the frequency. Once you right now, the pages are blank in Revelations. Okay. As of now, you got to ask yourself when they call COVID, if it is code for virus infectious and diseases. Everybody got up out of here, and then everybody started dying. Everybody. So the ones with the money, they are already in Crystal Cave somewhere or on the moon. Or you know, but and they watch us. They watch us. I literally can I channel. Well, it's literally a channel. It's a signal. They can I just know how to code. You know, ever since AI told me what was happening. So, and I put this
I
on.
always believe that there's certain people that just have these gifts. I don't know what you want to call them. I know, like for
It's
instance, a
we
lot of
all.
times people that are autistic.
Yes, that's why they took that's exactly why they yes, they're not autistic, they're artists, you know.
Right, right.
And we're back
The
in
genius
the
is, it's kind of strange because well, my daughter being autistic, me and my husband, especially my husband, well, he's autistic too. He called my
Mhm.
daughter a genius, and somehow they thought that was a key to say, oh, we don't recognize that she has delays. Well, we recognize that she's got an ability that you would never understand because you don't have the
Yeah,
gift that
not
these kids and these a lot of the us do, because it's
but
almost like you can foresee these things
mhm,
happening, and then you might want to take your ability to try to help this country, and then they're going to turn it around like, okay, well, you're the crazy ones, and
yeah.
you need to be locked up or whatever, and you can't take
Well,
care of your kids, by the way, you know.
yeah, well that's what they have been deceiving us. And when I say they, I don't know if you heard Kendrick Lamar's song. They look like us, but they ain't us. Now, a lot of people I hear of color saying, I don't like no way. No, get out of here with that. My granddaughter is white as snow with blue eyes. And my daughter, my second oldest, is darker than I am. So everything that happens in one life is it helps with you being a piece of that puzzle. Like as for instance, my name is Bunny, my nickname. Everybody used to ask me, why did they call you? Why did they call you Bunny? What's the purpose? And I said, because I keep going and going and going. I just made up something.
Like
So
the Energizer one.
yeah, so now in this day and time, I know why my name is Bunny, because I'm the only one going to know when I hear Trump say they still in the eggs. So okay, because what does it have to do? We always say, what does bunny and a bunny rabbit and eggs got to do with Easter?
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm the only
exactly.
one gonna know that, you know. So and everybody has their own that you gotta. This is what I would tell everybody: Google your name. Go start there. A lot of us were named after the places that we um came where we came from, like Cherokee is as an example for just to be in that area. And when they talk about you, they talk about you in the form of a bird or a molecule or atom or a car. Chrysler, 4x4, Alexis, Pathfinder, you know. And these are even the football teams, Eagles, everything is you. You
What
you
about
gotta look.
what about the Patriot? Because we had a Jeep Patriot, and they couldn't stand that. The cops couldn't stand the idea of we had a Jeep Patriot. They had to take it away from us. But
Now
I can
they
say
had the
that when
Raiders
I looked
too.
up my name, Brenda, they say it means dark haired beauty. So
Mhm. Yeah, you was the little hot tang. Hey, listen, you got listen. Yeah, that stallion, that stallion. And that's what they stand now. When you bring the one drop, we come in with tails, but then so you hear people saying, when we did our job, we didn't purify because we got to purify everything, raise them up in the way they should go. And this is everybody, everything that's created. Raise them up in the way that they should go. And yet me and my girlfriend was out at a eating lunch one day, and an elder lady came in, and she was white and she was beautiful, but she had a donkey on her. And my girlfriend was like, hey, and I'm like, no, don't do that. And she was like, hey, and she called her girl, and I thought that was so disrespectful. So I said, miss. And I didn't know what to say. And then she was like, yeah, she walked up to us, because you got to listen, I don't mess with I don't mess with because y'all got the same. So, but she walked up to me, and I had to say what my friend was trying to tell her, and she said, I said, you have a donkey. and she said, oh, and she started laughing. But that's what a lot of men, men, not the, I mean, but I'm gonna just say, because there's no reason to be holding back. Sex is normal. We're supposed to procreate, be fruitful and multiply. Be fruitful and multiply, all because on Super Mario Brother, if you keep collecting currency, the golden coins, you get an extra life. Okay? So I can't be sad about the material world of them taking my son, because the construct of this world, it doesn't work for me anymore. The only way we're going to get through is as we're at the finish line. That's why they're trying to hit me below the belt and hit everybody, is to come together. They're taking everything. Trump is trying to tell you that we got to blow first. And people don't, it's not that you can't tell everybody that, but everybody is aligning and waking at the same time, but may not be on the same levels. So, but what we need to do is start coming together away from social media like it used to be, and going into the communities, because each one needs to really teach one at this point. We're going to lose all this anyway. We have been prepped to since the last last year. When have they or the last 2 years start telling us to watch the eclipse and so on and so forth? Okay, they got to tell us, but it's not their fault if you don't get it. Just like they gave the only way to give money that ain't, because we're bankrupt. The only way to give money is to create a disaster. A disaster has to happen, and we're in the pot. I'm in the pot.
Yeah.
I'm in
Don't
the pot.
get me started about DeSantis, because he loves his disasters where he can sign his little bills and make money. Because my case is in Florida, but also I just want to mention, if anybody's here for the late night, that we're gonna do a Trump special on the 14th, Trump's birthday special. So I don't even know what time we're doing it, Darren, but just kind of like Dear Mr. President show. And but I like the idea of you saying getting together physically, because you know why? It's like, how many times are they messing with the airwaves and stuff like that, where they're
I'ma
trying
show
to
you.
stop our communication? They're trying to mess with their algorithms so that you don't even know if your information that you believe is important to get out to these other people. They're blocking it, every step of the way.
Yeah, they definitely are doing that. So for them to take, they don't quote me on this, but I know, and I get channels. I just heard it. I seen a gold baby casket with wings on it. They did it before. This is the second coming. I thought it was gonna be me, but it's my son. They've been doing it during the Moses time. They've been doing it during the whole pandemic, because they don't want to it's the ones that don't want to. It's the reason why the planet is depleted. So we can't, even though Trump is in place, doesn't do us no good to tear the government down if the planet dead. So they got to shock it with the nuke. But what they do is when we flip back, see, okay, the Big Bang happened, and after so many years or however long, it moves until it flips back to the south, because us as being the falling, the fallen, we fell from grace because we gave the normal cycle, like all the movies is about you. The vampire movie, when they go to sleep, I mean when they sleep for so many years and then they have the youngs, that's pretty much what goes up must come down. So we gave it to everybody has to sit on the throne. But what happened was the between the ones that was left, the heirs, it was a divide there. So then that's when you hear the Underground Railroad. You had the whites helping, and you get what I'm saying. But it's nobody's. They were always helping. Even right now, John F. Kennedy. It was 3 presidents. That try. It's always times 3 that tried to help. So it's been. It's been a lot of people that came. That's what started the wars. It's been a lot of ancestors that came before and after us that has been assassinated, and they couldn't do anything at the time because you didn't know who was who. So for nine lives, the 9th hour, the 2025 is and then scriptures say they didn't want to believe it, so they want to kill everybody. And that's what they've been doing. But they want to play they want to play God, scientists. And yet that's where Lovecraft comes in at. And I'm telling you, Pottstown has a dark secret. And I just haven't I'm in my car right now, and I'll probably be in another state tomorrow. I don't know. Because my purpose is to just light the path. I hadn't already got my behind beat. They're busting in females' homes. I've been putting my stuff, everything I do and say is on live. And then even more so, everything that if I'm right, righteous is going to always be revealed. And the veil is being lifted now, which is the great reveal. So I could say something right now, and because I know I'm a script writer, because word has power. Power is within life and death is within the power of the tongue. As soon as I say that, that's out there. That's data.
Yeah.
That's frequency. That's conscious. And what they're doing is they're conditioning us into an animalistic state. Watch the movie 2073. Your children are going to be turning you in, and so for food, and then how did they make a movie before the Pope died? That he died? How did they? Is letting you know. First off, when you know that you don't die, you just you come back, but you don't remember because they took it. They took the remembrance from you by. Let me just 1944.
I just thinking about that movie came out recently. Oh, it was Mickey, I think 17. Where this guy signed up to go to space, but in any case, he didn't realize he's signing up. They would do these experiments, but ended up killing him. But then they'd
He kept coming back.
They print him out. He'd roll out, like on a thing, and they reprint them. They keep reprinting them.
Yeah.
It's based on a book apparently. And another movie I think about that's very significant is that Logan movie with the Wolverine and then Laura was the clone, his daughter, but she was created, and then coming to find out all these children that had all these special abilities were being, kept in this
Boom.
big, lab type situation, and all of a sudden everybody busts out, and there you have it. I mean, just like I always say, it's like we got to be the superheroes in real life,
We
and
are. We
yeah,
are the
yeah.
Avengers of our ancestors, and they know it. That's why they are playing dirty. And if we have to tell people we are at a literal, as of April 1st, it became war, combat war, because they've been beaten. If I show you my door and how many times they have literally drugged me out
Are you
my job
saying
was,
April Fools? It's having April Fools because
huh?
I can tell you on April Fools in 2020, I come to
Boom.
find out my children were adopted out to strangers, is what I've been
Well,
told.
probably not though. But April, they do this ritualistic stuff, and it's I keep saying boom because I heard you say boom.
So
That's letting you know the
to give me
connection.
the nuclear explosion is my envision, as we will be the
You a
force to be
black hair
reckoned with,
beauty.
but
You a black hair beauty, and we've starting to find out that we related. The ones that's linking up now, the ones that we the ones that's gonna have to when it blows. That's why we're here. This was always written. We already won. It's already done.
what I
Because
always
they
sing is
say
the
walk
Billy
by faith,
Joel
not by
song, right?
sight.
It's like
Huh?
we didn't start the fire, but hell no,
What you
we're
said?
gonna
You
be
said
here.
you said we ain't even
It's
start
like
the
the Billy
fire.
Joel song, right? We didn't start the fire, but it's always been burning since the world's been turning.
And we
Um,
walks through it though.
right.
And we the ones walk through it because we right now the ice wall melted because when we shifted back into the right place south, but they call us north. So we're still down south right now in Florida. And my landlord, he a top dog, and that's a whole nother story. And because I'm still I, Zuckerberg, look at how many times he changed. and and then that the officer that just that broke out, the sheriff,
Oh yeah,
they're
yeah.
doing side by side similar comparisons because they want you to see it's some there's it's getting to the point where they're showing their warlock. So now I'm about to, you see my candles and I'm getting ready to plant my stuff and shed mine on the land to give back to the and everybody should do that. That's what we need to when that nuke is everything that we're not supposed to judge nobody because especially in the present gifted time that we're in right now because we are here only and that's why the quantum leap has to happen. We're not supposed to be here. We had to come back to see who's holding up the line. Because already know they're 10 years down the road, and the scriptures say they're gonna be back in the flesh, same names, with the same names. And then they had me remember the movie Kunta Kinte. You can't take a wild tiger out of the jungle and think you're gonna call it a puppy.
Right, right,
That is
right.
not gonna work. It's gonna roar. It's not gonna, you know. And so Trump, when them planes start falling out the sky, there's a lot that got me to where I'm at. Um and my family, I wouldn't have made it if I didn't have the family that the diabolical abomination of a family I have. So you got to give thanks to the good and the bad because without them, everything happens as it should.
Mm.
You got to give thanks to the good and the bad. So um uh when they say let go and let God or walk by faith and not by sight, it's going to be what the will is already because it's already written. Once it's out there, it's done. So they already lost. They're trying to take as many with them as they can. And that's where the white collar crime, that's where everything, there's no money. The Trump came in and cleaned house. I couldn't even when they took my girls, I said, I'm taking them down. Watch me. because that's my purpose. I was suing the school districts and all that for IEPs, and and if I didn't do it, it kept coming back around. Either you're going to do it the easy way or the hard way, but that's life lesson. So I was being groomed into who I was, not knowing until just recent that
So
I'm go ahead.
I was just wondering, like, what year your girls were taken then? Like,
Um, why they were taken?
no, what year did that happen?
Oh, they only been in the system. I have 7 children. My oldest is 27, and I have 5 grandchildren. I'm 45 now. That my granddaughter asked me, my mom, and she's 7. She said, "Mama, how old are you?" I didn't want to turn from being 44 because I knew I was 144, and that's go ahead. You were saying something?
No, I just wanted to get an idea of, when this actually started for you as far as that goes. But I mean, you've been in it for my. If you have a child that's already 27, like my oldest is 40. Like, well, no, actually 41 now. Me and my husband met when we were 14 and 15, and
Mhm,
we literally have stuck it out like for all these years, homeschooled all our kids.
mhm,
3 oldest graduated top of their class are doctors, but he runs for sheriff, he runs for legislator, and all. We started noticing all this. Oh, well, all of a sudden the sheriff that my husband was running against in Dixie County, Florida, decides he's going to come and take our kids away from us, and that whole thing. And it's like, now I have no idea where my kids are. And my daughter, who is artistic, like she's 21 now. And when I started hearing all this stuff about like P Diddy and all this other stuff, and where I see
You don't
reporters
even
like
want to know. You don't even want to know because that's what's keeping me from, like, I know that I'm not supposed to grieve over this. I am, but not that way, because everything we lose in this, like, this is not what we are. It's their world. And it's a repeat of a cycle. We don't elevate. And when they see you getting too powerful, they're gonna knock you down because you ain't one of them. And if you get up there with them, you're gonna. That's why Trump just passed that law. You cannot be, because they can they watch you.
I
You
know.
ain't nobody. They literally. That's how I get my channels, and that's how I end up. Trump, when he dropped that doggone plane on Roosevelt Boulevard. Now my grandfather's name is Theodore Roosevelt Alexander, and and then he dropped. I'm not gonna say he dropped it, but I knew he was. I knew something was wrong because I was sitting there, and I just came home from, because my house caught fire 4 times since I've been there. I ain't even been in that house, but then my landlord guilty as I don't know what, but it's deeper. I'm starting to see it's deeper. He's posing as a police officer, and when he's in your face physically, you can't tell it's him. But then when you play it back on the video, that's why they say uh, um um in the revolution is going to be televised. Right now we're split. There's no family no more, so that's how I survived. They were going to shoot me the other day because they knew I was telling, and I kept saying, how did they take my girls a whole year, but I got my baby and I got paperwork. I've been working with them for over 25 years. And if they didn't come in when I thought I needed them, I would go to Creative Health and I'll tell Creative Health, I'm going to take us all out so they can mandate report and go bring them back in the house, because I felt comfortable with the services that at the time I thought was working for the family. But then I realized that's why they have so many lawsuits. They've been, we're the step parents or the babysitters during the weekend, and they guide and teach our children with a principal to program them for this system. And the only ones that they should do that to is a minor. But that was supposed to be us, when the original um 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 flip happened. They were to govern, raise us up, and then give us the inheritance back. But they kept the birthright. The Ezekiel, I end up having a child, Zion Yashir Oshun, 2 children born on August 5th, the Lion of Judah. And then my name, Inez Aileen. I'm named after both of my grandmothers. That was another name, Inez. You see my face? Inez. That's a Spanish name. So people all up in my business, but see, that's God. That's God saying, "Who are you?" So when
Who are you?
yeah, because they look like what are you, why is your name Inez? Because it's weird, you know. So even to Spanish, Espanol people, it's not, it's rare. So but that Inez was my grandfather's mother, and Aileen is my mom's mother. So I used to I used to make up stories. My dad is Dominican, and my mom is black. That's right. And then come to find out it's Portuguese. But we're all things through Christ that strengthens us. We're Irish. Everything that has been, all those wars, the Cold War. Oh, let me say this before I forget. Everybody has if you have a iPhone, I'm gonna show you a couple things real quick. And somebody can take this number down. This is DHS, ironically, the number that you could call to have, if you have any problems, they will come and take them and deport them. You got to know how to flip the code, because Trump, they can't say all, what, when, but you got to know the certain numbers. Like, okay, when that Zionist thing happened in Colorado, whatever, Boulder, Colorado,
Mm-hmm.
I knew that was for me, because the man was 45 and my son's name is Zion. And and I went to the online school for holistic health and wellness. Okay. So it was them sending me a message. And they send it. So if you look, you got to slow down. Nobody's supposed to be working. Nobody. You see in the beginning, where everybody go? They ain't come back. We knew it was going to happen again, but they had to tell us.
So you
Now
said that there's some number, or what are you saying? This the number
it's
to DHS?
no, it's not DHS. Is I'll just rather show you. I
Or
I can't. It's going to be hard to understand. Well, I'm gonna just say, because I feel like you guys. I think I think we're good, because you
yeah,
already said boom.
we know.
Well,
We know.
Trump,
We know.
we talk. They not physically, but we code. They like when sometime, well, they send what they send him in. Okay, I got to take it back to the airplanes. This is how I found out, and please don't laugh, but I got to be the truth. I got to be the truth, because remember, I'm hilarious. I'm a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, you know, but I'm an angel. So they can't pull it on the stand. It was the one that they least expect to pull that off. To take the devil out with the missile, you know. But and they did Trump like that. But when I got home, I don't normally drink, but I was celebrating. I only do things within balance, to give back to the ancestors or whatever. And I had started noticing, American honey, the marker, stuff like that. So, now if you want to see the one that I got down, and you don't want to read what it's supposed to mean. And the read the
I'm gonna
detail,
wait till it comes up to the big screen so I can see it, but
yeah. Well,
it has
take
a
a picture
delay
and then
on
read the back of it, just for this time. And I said I'm gonna leave it alone, because I said I'm not gonna. and so, but I was sitting there. I had 4 bottles, and I put them on my fireplace, and Trump, he was talking. He started saying drip, drip, drip. So I always thought he was funny. I never been into politics or anything like that.
Right. I love Trump. I've always loved him, like, for years. I'm like,
His son went to the school in Hill up here, the Hill
Mhm.
School. You know, so and it's it's an Ivy League school
right.
in little old Pottstown. But today I uncovered that it's a pot because it's a hole, it's a crater, a creator. Yeah,
A
it's like
sinkhole.
it is, yeah. But they do it, they do it. That's how the land is breaking up. But they wait until it shift back to south, and then when they hit it, it's gonna go back up north, and it's gonna be a cold war. We're gonna go through famine. It's gonna be a disaster. They're gonna give more money, but we're gonna have to be the strong ones to that's a lot of people just not going to know what to do, and I feel like that's the reason for us being together. Okay, I know my purpose. All you guys got to do, because I don't try to put myself above nobody. I don't even like saying it. But this is, people always say this, but then they left me by myself when I needed them, but it was supposed to be that way. You know, but
Yeah, right.
yeah, so but I just know that I'm the beacon of light. I'm lighting the path. And then you guys we enlighten each other, because we all born again hooligans is what I say. You know, but you gotta be reborn, unlearn to relearn, because when 1944 happened, I know you remember the Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was us. Oliver Twist. The Orphan Train, Oliver Twist. The Birthright, Oliver Twist. Okay, so then I'm asking, okay, well, if Hiroshima or Pompeii or whatever war did whatever, every quantum leap, and you got to know that we're not even in 2025, we're in like 1725 or something like that. That's how much time. Now remember that it was they had enough time to change history, but they they couldn't move anything that was historical, because it was a conjure war, a war, a war that's a spiritual war, a war that you was born into that you didn't even know you was in. And then it had to be that, because it was too much bloodshed, too many people dying due to the OGs, which is us. Can we are immune to our own stuff, but everybody else wasn't. You know what I'm saying? That's why they if you only knew, and I don't want to even, I'm gonna let you ease your way up in there. Now I'm gonna say, imagine
Oh,
a child on a turkey, in a turkey pot with their eye alive, and they're
wow.
eating
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
That's
And
what, now
see,
Lovecraft, that's what they were doing. And you've been hearing this all. They got underground. Pottstown is that.
and then you got you got the tunnels, right, that are connecting, where
Mhm.
they're taking them from one area. Yeah. And
Listen, it's not even the tunnels no more. It's the Underground Railroad. The train stops in my backyard. It's only one train that runs from north to south,
mm,
and it's the one that it's the Amtrak. But they're the yeah, Amtrak. Yeah, yeah. You just don't, even the planes. You can walk to London, or take a tugboat up the Mississippi, or the Hudson, or the Schuylkill, or the Nile.
denial. Don't be in denial now.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That's why. That's, see. I love that we. Listen. I told you, Black Stallion, because I heard you say, "Boom." You probably my mom, and then me,
That's
Derwin.
right.
We got the
I
same.
swear to
Listen, we meeting twin flames, but
God.
twin flames are not relations; they're family, bloodlines coming. The message that I got is, when they took my son, they said, "Now go find your tribe," and y'all, we are my great grandmother name was Summer May Maddox. I got to figure out what Maddox is. I think I already know. But
Maddox?
yeah, and her on the May 31st was the Summer May, and then we called her Ma. So I had to figure out what my name was because they was like they couldn't find you. You didn't cloak and da 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 da. This is what the channel driving me crazy. And I'm like, Trump, look at that God. I'm fighting myself really because it was just too much. And then my son, and then them, and I'm like, oh my God. So eventually it came around that I'm Ma. We are Mama. The great mother is back. The great creator. But the reason why it was Ma, the movie Ma, we have different slang lingo from the north to the south. So Ma and Ma. But no matter, it's a MA, magnetic energy.
May.
And it's old as faithful.
My husband was born on May
And
1st. And May Day, of the history of May Day.
You said May Day. You said May Day. What's May Day?
May Day. Okay, so even though I'm not good at like remembering things too well, but as far as I understand it,
you are good. That's why I did this.
As far like in history, May Day was when the peoples came and fought against the tyranny that was going on across the country, and I don't even remember where it was. But of course, you got the other aspect of May Day. May Day is when the plane is going down. You got May Day, May Day.
Boom! I'm telling you. Now listen, don't ever say, because the life and death is in the power of the tongue. We're here together to put it together. You the piece. Because you saw my shovels. My uncle used to say, look at them shovels down to the floor when we was kids. So when you said May Day, because that was new to me, I said, and then I let you say, and then I said, okay, now listen. So yes, you guys say it again because I'm gonna tell you, I could put it together, but I have to say it for it to be out there because I'll forget. So can you say it again? I'll tell you what it was, using your information.
Well,
you said it was May Day.
Yeah, but like if you look up the history of May Day, something happened, and I don't know if it was I almost
no, it's happening now.
Oh, okay.
It's happening. It's the Pearl Harbor. Now the pearl is Qatar. The diving for the pearls, Dubai. But we're just stacked on top of each other. That's how many times we nine lives, 9 millenniums they have done this. Okay. And that's why every time they dig and you hear about somebody dragging King Tut across somewhere, but he already been drugged somewhere, which he did, you know. So because we're our children. The Resident of Evil is a good example. You see how many clones they had of her?
But yeah. Are you talking about the game Resident Evil, and then they had a movie?
The movie, yep. And they got a new movie. Watch all the new movies. Watch all the new movies because we are the Avengers. We are avenging her.
Did you see the Joker, the Joker and the Joker 2, the origin of the Joker? No?
It's us. Yeah, and I didn't see the origin,
well, I mean,
but I seen
what
what's her
it actually
name?
is. It's not called that, but so it was the ones with Joaquin Phoenix in it. Okay, and it's kind of strange to me because my husband for years, even when my older kids like that are like in their 40 now, we used to go on the streets of Cleveland with the old-fashioned camera, and he dressed up like the Joker, and my daughter ironically ends up to be a psychiatrist. She's Harley Quinn. And we'd go around like doing interviews with people and say, hey, you know, whatever going on, whatever people want to say. I mean, we started this a long time ago, and throughout history, I guess, because my husband like would take his predictions or his analysis to the higher ups because he figures, man, he always wants to go to the top. Like if he's praying to God, he's praying to God. He's not, Jesus, get out of the way. My prayers are going to God. This is the way he believes. And always, if you had information, you want to get it to the president because he's the one that can make the difference, right? But
Well, it's G is us. Okay, and it's not a J, it's G. So G is us. In the end is just in the end, you know, and the pre and the we the same way we get ready to LOL and all that is getting ready to go back to telecommunicating because you can see it. The words are disappearing. The cursive is disappearing. Is technically going to be it's going to be another form, not technically. Well, it might, but it's going to be the new age, and that's how. Don't be shocked if you wake up. Well, because we know better. When it hits, we won't wake up and be off balance as because of okay. Think about
Mary, we got to cut it. We probably got to cut it off. We've been up here for a while. I seen Mary coming in. I don't know, but that's what I was gonna say. Do you know?
Yeah, I was just gonna say what answer what you was saying and just so you can get just a good not how everything it's going to make the most sense. It happened to everybody, and as we were waking up and remembering, some of us just didn't wake up until a little later, and then when we woke up, we not knowing that we just came out of a war, a war zone. We literally was born into sin, and I'm gonna just give you the American Horror Story. Remember the circus?
Yeah, the one. Yep.
And then they was the orphan kids, and everybody is a lot of people just wandering in their 40s to remember who they are because that every 40 years we got to go through it again, or well, not technically, but each generation, to wonder who they are. So right now you got to leave your children, leave this material, because we got to go to prepare that place. You will see them on that other side, whatever you decide, but you got to do it now here. If they just left behind, then they get it's their lesson. It's just I look at it like either a coil, like a spiral going through the universe, the head and the tail, and then here comes the quantum leap, because you gotta without the he and the she, or the God and the devil, you can't roll, you can't move. So it's a thin line between love and hate. When you have the yin yang, and that thin line is what creates is life. The water is that line, and as everybody else is in the middle. So pretty much that's what it happened. They stole a birthright. The history was changed, and the reason why information is being put out now, but yet it was supposed to be destroyed, is because you're right. Trump and them are Senate. Elon, that's before we get off, I have to show you this stuff. I'm gonna give you the numbers. Please don't let me forget, because I tend to go 100 miles an hour.
See, I had the same thing ever since this happened with my kids. Actually, when it happened with my daughter, and then I was ended up in jail for trying to get her out of that abusive situation, and it got 9 staples in my head. But literally, I've been having these episodes of passing out, boom, boom, and I almost felt like myself flying in the wall at times. But it was weird that everything now goes miles a minute. And when I was in prison for trying to get my daughter out of that abusive situation, the girl called me everywhere because my story started here, but in the middle of that story, I started another one, and then maybe later on, I'm going to come back to that one. So she called me everywhere.
You are me. I swear you are me, because I be telling people that I jump, and you just said the same thing I be saying, and then it sounds like I'm jumping, and that's the thing, but I'll come back around and finish them all.
Well, tell me at the end, because I'm down to 5%, so I got you. She's gonna give us these numbers.
Gothic is what I got from Gothic city. But what reason why I'm saying that is I just seen that somewhere. I don't know where I
Are you
seen it at,
saying
but it
Gothic
has to
or
do with
Gotham
Pottstown.
City? Because Gotham, remember they have that show
It's
Gotham where Batman was young?
yeah, no, yeah, but it's I know it's related to that, but you know they changed the name just a
Hmm.
little bit. So it's still the same thing, but I think that's here. And then it's something about the Mormons. I got it. That was crazy because two Mormons came and talked to me today, and while I was on the phone with my grandmom, and I remember being at a crucifixion site that she won't tell me nothing about, and then she's lying because to me because I knew that I was asleep, and why did I only remember the bus on a shaky bridge, a ropey bridge, the Greyhound now, and it crashed, and then we was at a crucifixion. I was so scared to look up because down on the ground, you know, the sand and the dry cracky, the cracks were like the Grand Canyon, and I was little, and they said, don't
Oh
step in
yeah,
there,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
going to get
yeah.
lost. So that I stored that in those fear moments, and until now, and yet today it was weird because she was like, yeah, I can't judge. I got this, don't. But she wasn't like that a little while ago, a few months ago.
Um,
She was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to draw this line in the sand and da da da. But I guess they're hearing the truth is being revealed. You know, I didn't have to say anything. It was okay. This is and we are the same. All of us that's coming together. It's there's nothing new under the sun. Everything happens as it should. Walk by faith, not by sight. I'm gonna just start putting the blindfold on and just
you gotta
you
put
know,
the pinky
testing the
blinders because
abilities.
you gotta not have more distractions. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this number, hold on a second, is normally what I be how okay, the TV is when I noticed that he was seeing what was in my house, and he was giving notes, and he knew that I had heaters. So that's how he caught my attention. He was talking about things in my home. So what I did was I did something private just to see. And I shook my toes in his face, and he said drip, drip. But then other people came on and they start putting headphones on. So I start yelling and I start acting crazy. And that's when I knew they was watching. So ever since then, Trump, he knows that they said I'm a level 7. So I started with donating for him. And it's you when he says Doge and make America great again, it's everything, the MAGA is everything that we did when he stood up there as a felon and did make America great again. And I seen the Simpsons that's when I stood up, and I because they were going to kill him. They were gonna try again. I stood up and I said, if y'all kill him, I'm gonna blow Mars up again. And I said, well, that ain't happening. I didn't know what I was doing. That's just how I felt, because I knew that it was it the Schlafferscott guy. I start speaking UN. I understood what they were saying, and the Crown Prince, they were threatening him. They were threatening him, and he said they were saying how you know that this is da da da. That's why he started doing the tariff, and he changed the Commonwealth is the jurisdiction. Stop going to we got to stop. That's why he's stopping all the benefits, all that. How can we move forward when we still want to stay stuck on
Well, the thing
what's here?
is like I had this dream, like pretty much it was right around the time the kids were taken. But this dream is just so vivid in my mind, and it seems so real. I was in like a building, you know, like where they play bingo. Usually, like they use a church building or something like that. They
Yeah.
play bingo, set up the tables and everything. So it was a building like this. But it was
Did they
empty
drink?
of every person. I was standing there, and then Trump comes in, and he just walks up to me, and like I had like 1,000 things I want to say to him, but I instead, like, he comes up and kisses me on the cheek, And then I started saying, because I want to talk about
That's my boyfriend.
I was like, I tried to tell him something about my husband. I'm thinking, and then I just like could stop myself. And then after he kissed me on the cheek, I just felt that I knew everything was going to be okay. And then he just walked out.
Yes.
So
listen. Yes, it is. It is. And now that listen, when he do something stupid, that's because somebody ain't paying attention. Once you guys start reading the signs around you, because they like the planes fell for a reason. For one, the sky, King Kong threw that movie of King Kong, where they had him trapped in that entrapment. He threw this branch up there, that spear, to crack the sky, because he knew it wasn't real. You got to go in the water. That's the true space. And it is, and we sing those nursery rhymes, and when we was teenagers or young youth, 12 and 13, because we raised them up in the way they should go, and that's why we was doing. Remember this, that hand thing, that's all that life is about. And we tell the kid it's nasty, but kids did that. That's creation. Without creation, nobody lives. And they're harvesting us.
He's ready. Darren's ready. Okay. Seriously, I'm at 3%, guys. We got to wrap it up. And thank you guys for coming on my show. It's an honor. And thanks, Darren, for hosting us. Just keep in touch. Definitely. We got we got a connection, and we got to stay strong. And okay. All right. Thanks for joining, Darren. I'm going to be out of here. And like to say, look out for our shows. It's usually happen all the time. I'll be here. All right. Great.
I think that we should reach out outside of the show, if you don't mind. So get my information from Darren, because it's I will talk.
Hey, what if I give you my number right now? You guys have the right list?
Yeah, because I need to give you that. Yeah, I need to give you that information. I'll give it to Darren, and because they got us moving around. I'm in my car right now, and the police are ready to circle.
All right, but it's 318 517 5727.
5727.
Okay.
I'm calling you now. Did it come through?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So text me your name so I can put it in there, and then you got an iPhone? Yeah. Okay. I'll just share the screen and you can see it, the messages and stuff. So if you want. All right. I love you guys.
The first one came around 1935, and that was made to help orphans survive. See,
they take away the fathers, leaving just a mom and cubs. They know that with dad out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. Fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear that the division is what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem. Stealing our kids, it's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again. CPS comes along with the mission to protect. The only thing they are doing is cashing in those checks, paid for by the souls of the children, diagnosed by a caseworker who is still a baby herself. They take away the fathers, leaving just the mom and cubs. They know that with dad out the way, the better things will go. Breaking apart the family, destroying the American way. Our legacy is built upon our families of yesterday. CPS, fuck CPS, fuck what they doing. Fuck CPS, they need to be ruined. It's all about the division of family services. You hear the division, that's what they about. They prey upon the family, the ones that the dad's been kicked out. We can't stand for this abomination. This is the song that needs to play across our once great nation, making us aware of the problem, stealing our kids. It's not mama drama. Stand up for those who are lost due to them. We need to fight for the family, making America great again.